Patas, our good governor for Pacific Province, the Honorable Alan Bird, opposition leader, of course member for Middle Fly, Honorable Master Secretary General, our senior, member for Eri Koyari, the Honorable Keith Yidu, and of course Deputy Opposition Leader. Thank you, media, for joining us here today. I thought that I will make a few remarks about the state of our country and what we are facing today in terms of the challenges as a country and how our government is performing today and why we are now putting forward a motion of no confidence in order to hold our current government to account for its decisions, its actions, and of course its non-performance. Today we are at the 6th year of the Marape government. That came with a big promise of delivering a country that is prosperous, a country that is going to be rich, and of course wealthy beyond imagination. This is a government that has enjoyed record prices in terms of the global prices for commodities like coffee, cocoa, gold, copper, oil and gas. As a result of those huge price gains that the government has enjoyed, they have increased their revenue in a country to record number of government revenue over those years. In fact, record budgets were introduced as a result of that. You know now that for the first time our country is now presenting budgets well beyond almost 27 billion kina in each year. So that is a clear indication of the ability of government that is collecting good revenue as a result of very good global commodity prices. But many know that that is not a true reflection of where our country is. All social indicators today shows that our country is not performing well. Not only in the region, but globally. We have a very declining education standards. Our health services are almost non-existent. It has a poor delivery service to many of our communities and of course towns and cities throughout the country. There is a complete breakdown on law and order in many parts of our country, and that is evident by the number of criminal activities and crimes that are committed that has been reported daily on the media and social media. There is a huge increase in population, and some estimates it is about 4% in global terms of an increase in population in our country. As a result, we have a huge youth population and huge unemployment. All that goes down to is that there is no income for all these people that we have now, this population that we have in the country. These are indicators showing that the government, despite the good fortunes that they have enjoyed, is not performing and it is not delivering to the expectations of our people. Now, it's not only social indicators, it's also economic indicators. You have record budgets been presented, and of course increased expenditure as a result of the record budgets, but we're still running a deficit budget, in fact quite a large deficit budget, averaging about 4 to 5% every year. Now that has not delivered again to the expectations of our people on the particularly the basic services that is a basic human right requirement for our citizens. So we have a government that is overspending, sometimes overspending outside of budget, and as a result many departments and many provinces and many districts are not getting the money that they reflected in the budget, and as a result declining of services in those provinces and communities continue to go. Other legacy of the 6 years Marape government is that we are now going to have a record in terms of the huge loans that are outstanding, close to 70 billion kina, first 44 years of our nationhood, almost first 44 years of our nationhood, the total debt was around 30 billion kina. Now it's close to 70 in the last 6 years. Now, if any thinking person who is either involved in business or has some economic or accounting experience, if you are not alarmed by that, something is seriously wrong. So we are leaving a huge debt for the future generation for this country, for future generations to repay on our behalf. We have now declining infrastructure in the country. Despite huge investments in Connect PNG, you will find that most of the infrastructure are starting to break down because of lack of maintenance and proper investment. These are economic infrastructures in the country. All you have to do is drive around in many parts of the country and see the decline in roads in the cities, towns, and communities right across the country. There's been no new foreign direct investment in the country. When you have almost zero foreign direct investment in the country in the 6 years, not many countries in the world go through that, except we are experiencing that. When you have no new foreign direct investment, that means that you have no growth in the private sector and there's no opportunity for employment. And this has now, of course, led to low business confidence in the country. When there's low business confidence, you now have businesses now shutting down. And recently we've seen Fletcher Marape, a company that has been here for 70 years, and shut down. When businesses shut down, that means people are laid off, they've got no jobs, no income for their families. We live in Papua New Guinea, so we know the pressure of a one-talk system. All of us have that problem. No single Papua New Guinean is exempted from it. So you know the pressure that these people who are now going to join the unemployment line will face, and their kids and their families. So this is an ongoing saga. So as a result of that, you see, the nation is calling for Pangu-led government to do something. It is not only leaders of opposition who think that we are desperate to get into government. No, it is the nation that is calling. Our ordinary citizens, our students, our business leaders, business community. They are asking for Marape to resign because he cannot say that I need 6 more years to do this. 6 more years of incompetence, poor decisions, poor judgments, no vision, no plan. This is not what the country is expecting. Country is continuing to have its people live day to day. This is not by trial and looking tassel kind of approach and management you have to take into the country. We have to make sure that decisions that any leader or any government makes is going to go into the best interest of our people and our country. In 2019, I thought as Prime Minister, I was doing the right things for the country. That I was putting the country in the right direction for betterment of all citizens. But of course, we've had keyboard warriors, and we've got leaders and politicians in my own government, and all walks of life, our people, all demanded that they needed a change. They needed a change. And of course, it's not easy for any leader to make that call. And I understand what Marape is going through. A leader that is thinking that he's doing the right thing, but the citizens are asking you to resign and make changes to your government. So, when he claims that, Pangu has won 32 seats and we have the right to rule. The right to rule has been given and mandated to you by the people. So in 2017 elections, it wasn't a perfect election, but, the cheating and stealing and fraud and interference like 2022 wasn't happening in 2017. And PNC won 29 seats. So in 2019, I didn't say that, PNC may bless in 29 seats, so I must hang on to power. That power doesn't belong to one person or one party. There's a power and a mandate given to you by the people. So of course, I had to make some tough decisions. And I consulted members in my own party. I consulted, former Prime Minister Marape and Mr. Julius Chen about how these things were happening, and of course I resigned, hearing the calls of the people. I could have done everything possible to try and hang on to power, but if I did not hear the call of the people, and the call was drowning my ability to manage the country. Because you are managing this noise and you forget about managing the country. So one has to go, one has to give in. So you can understand that, you understand why people don't want to give up power. They think that when they give up power, they forget that they lose influence, they cannot control things, and they think that, there will be repercussions. Of course, as many of you know, I've gone through a bit of a tough time over the last 6 years. I've gone through the courts, I've been accused of corruption and everything else, but I went through the courts and have been cleared and vindicated. So nothing is wrong with that. The process and the systems of government is there. Any leader who feels that they're doing the right thing for the country should not fear the test of the judiciary or test of the law and order or test of scrutiny. So I think it's important that, Prime Minister must know that, this is a position, a privileged position given to you by leaders on behalf of the people. And everybody loves that role. They want to be given a chance to do that. And today we are in this process of a vote of no confidence to hold them accountable to. Say, our people are yelling and screaming at every section of the community right throughout the country. It is not one person making this call. It is not opposition leaders who are making this call. We are making this call as leaders that have been properly mandated by people to try and make sure that we have a right government and listening to the people and of course the community that we represent. It is clear that time has come. Time has come. Pangu cannot claim that it's an institution that represents the people. We appreciate and acknowledge the fact that they are the party that brought us independence. They are part of the history of this country. They have a legacy that they have. But Pangu cannot hold on to its power because they have a legacy, but they are an institution. They must know that that legacy or institution or power is given by the people. And the very people that gave you that are asking you to make some changes. So members of the Pangu Party need to stand up. Stand up to Marape and the leadership and of course all the executives that, listen, our people are saying this, we must hear their call. So I think it is important that the Prime Minister sits back and reflect and assess what is going on in the country. And Pangu Pati as a political party that has got historical significance to our nationhood, has to say, enough now. These positions will change over time. The noise will get louder as we go along. Doesn't matter how many institutions you compromise and control, the noise is going to get louder. Because it is the people who are making that noise, either through the leaders, through the students, or through NGOs, but the noise will get louder. So the winds of change is upon us, and I'm calling on the Prime Minister to listen to the people and act today. And not listening to people who have got vested interests, who are sitting alongside and listen them. You are doing the right thing, so keep going. Either they are blind or they are deliberately leading you off towards the cliff to jump off. But the country is saying, thank you very much for your service, but you have done enough, time to move on. So he needs to reflect on this, making sure that this vote of no confidence goes smoothly. The leaders need to make it. This is an opportunity that the Grand Chief is making it available to the nation. He doesn't have to do it. He's got a job. He knows the people of Lena love him, and probably many more. especially. So, you know, that is part for our nation. He's making himself available. So the leaders need to listen to this. They wanted this call. The leaders in opposition have had the call. We're supporting Sir Peter to advance us through this work that we are doing. And I think it's time that our leaders in Parliament listen to the call of the people. Those are the few comments that I wanted to make. You know, all our fathers are dying and are dead and gone. There are only very few of us left. So I take it that it is my responsibility to come out here and explain to the nation why this change needs to happen. So that's why here today. So I'll ask the leaders if they want to say a few words. Yeah. And what we are saying is Pangu Pati itself, we're happy for them to make a change internally. There are many good leaders in there. But they must stand up and make a stand for the country. And that's all what I am stressing. Thank you. Please, we'll ask. Similar like we did, you know, you remember Marape was PNC before. Only yesterday he started flying Pangu colors. So the real fathers of Pangu need to stand up. Governor Bert, please.
Well, thank you, former Prime Minister O'Neill, our alternate Prime Minister nominee. If you go to my office in Wiwe, which used to be Sir Michael Sumare's office, you will see a certificate hanging on the wall that says Life Member of Pangu Pati. There are 3 life members of Pangu Pati. That's myself, the Honorable Ian Lingstati, and the Honorable Chris Aigata. Olga Danarula and Monsen. Now the former Prime Minister Ethiopia and Master the Solo And so I make the same call. I think the performance of this government has really tarnished the Pangu reputation and the Pangu brand. It started off really well. There were so many really good promises, and I think all of us, including myself, we were hopeful that those promises would be fulfilled. But I think when you make one promise and then there's a promise in current again, and you add another promise and another promise. And I think the expectations of Papua New Guineans have gotten to a point where they were expecting some of them to be fulfilled. Unfortunately, to this day, as Honorable O'Neill, let me talk here, record budgets. But it hasn't come with record results. And one of the things I think this government has done, and you've heard me speak on the floor of Parliament, I've raised these issues, for example, with Connect PNG. And I raised it on the floor of Parliament, and someone needs to do an investigation. But estimate below me, Emulsion, when they started, they had 30 contractors, and they boast about this on the floor of Parliament. They had 30 contractors. Today, they tell us they have 300 contractors. Okay? The question is, how did they go from whatever the original plan to now? For example, some roads are not Connect PNG roads. They are what we call arterial roads. So I'm on a road inside the Wanda district. It should not be part of Connect PNG. Suddenly they give a 380 million kina contract for a tiny road in a district, or a 247 million kina one, and they call it Connect PNG. The original design of Connect PNG wasn't like that. It was supposed to be the main roads, the main highways that lead to ports that will help to improve our economy. Or missing link roads that is like that. Somehow, they've just gone now only adding, or not something for political convenience. Or you remember supporting me, okay, me one contract, I was 300 million, I'm all right, Now when you start doing that, you go away from whatever the original plan was. And today, as I sit before you, I can tell you that the last time ECP provincial government and other provincial governments received what we call our functional grants. These are grants that we use to pay for things. It's the same kind of money that departments get. We received The last transmission of money from Waigani to East Sepik province was in May last year. It's now April. We have not received any money, and I can tell you, all provinces, provincial health authorities, we are running out of medicines. Provincial health authorities have not received their money to operate. Money to buy marasin, na buy fuel na. There's not something where you may passing finish your budget. And it's a really disgusting thing when supporters of government say, oh, you join in government, na ball give this money. Listen, governors who are in government have not received this money also. That's all passing most na good boy na sinamisi na. Mr. Jose. Never in the history of Papua New Guinea have our departments and our provinces and our PHAs gone without operational funds for 3 quarters. You are going to ask him, Mamas government department, and first quarter and finish here, and maybe go to second quarter now. All kissing money, don't want to operate or no. And they will all tell you no. So my view is that, and they've hidden all the documents, only hiding over something now. We have to go and look and dig and try to find out. If you remember the 2023 budget outcome report, which we've been talking to the floor of parliament and we've been questioning ministers of finance, they reallocated $1 billion kina in that budget to other things. 1 billion. You know, legal money. You can go and download him 2023 final budget outcome no treasury website and you check him na by looking inside only suruk him this money. Now when they did that, they cut it from education, they cut it from police, they cut it from health, now only reallocated. We still don't know where that 1 billion kina went. By law, as of the end of last month, 3rd month of the year, Treasury is supposed to release the 2024 final budget outcome. I am waiting to read that document. And I wonder how much more money has been reallocated to friends and cronies. Online staff lo kapan ya onid lo tingin des la. Planit no lo staff na backup na support na pegim scrum kalap wipe. They are not thinking about what they're actually supporting. What are you supporting? You are supporting a dysfunctional government. You know, long time, long man fighting treasurer because all fighting was aswab lo treasurer. This is no wrong lo treasurer. What's happened is that they've sat down in NEC and they are awarding contract after contract after contract without realizing the impact that it's going to have on the cash flow. Now, even one trade store owner, and by managing business belonging better than how we are managing the country. Mipla over there, degree kili, mipla got master's degree, na kind degree, and we can't even manage our cash flow. How can you run for 9 months going into 10 months? 3 more months and it'll be 12 months. No God complement receiving operational funds. Or man kisim pay taso national lobbyist. Now people in the country only know understanding this financial problem, but only feeling effect blame. Doctors are having to fork money out of their pay packet to buy marasin patients. The doctors are feeling it. The doctors are stressed out. Police have to find money or go begging old man or borrowing or stealing fuel just to operate. And we all know this, and this comes back to the symptom of a failing central government. You have to remember, our government is highly centralized, and it's failing in the center. That call by the Honorable Peter O'Neill is a very important one. Say Peter because he had the courage to put his hand up. For us, we know that Papua New Guinea needs a change. The people know that Papua New Guinea needs a change. This is nothing personal against James Marape as an individual. But you look at Mosem, first, how much 3 years about here, and honeymoon yet. The people of Papua New Guinea gave you a chance to perform in the first 3 years. Now, if you look at every other prime minister through history, you count him, you go back, start on time, no Somara, he come. They had 3 years, all of them. The only government that had a longer stint was National Alliance, had 9 years from 2002. Even then, all man very tired. After this honeymoon period, all man very tired. And then the Honorable Peter O'Neill and PNC, they went for 8 years. This land goes 6 now. Well, people tired of it. And we need to respond to that call. Okay? We need to respond to that call. Because the fear and the danger is that all man many all belak na frustrated, only go to housing, only go to one and a half block same service na it's not there. They are going to vent somewhere. And that's what we need to manage. So it's not about James Marape, whether Mibla like you or you know liking you, it's nothing to do with that. It's the fact that you are the captain. Now inside long, kind organization where the man who is the boss, he makes the calls. So time will see now NEC start now. One plan contract come now looking more than one plan 120 million, another plan 380 million. And they decide to award it to the person who bid for 380 million. That's a captain's call. That's what we call a captain's call. Captain, he talk now, you make him. They can come back later and say, oh, me blogger and NEC make him. No, I tell captain make him plan decision. Now, captain and me make him plan the old decision, come. Now, captain need no sense. Team PNG needs a new captain. A captain that's going to come with different calls. Because the calls that this captain has been making has led us to this point. How much money lo borrowing? 4 billion, 5 billion, and call block captain. You know call block Mibla. Most of the people that are our colleague MPs that are supporting government right now, people are calling them all sorts of things, but the fact of the matter is that all just game supporters. Most of them don't know how to read a budget. Budget are not easy books to read. And Mibla, I think 5 plus or 6 plus members of parliament are taking time to read the models and something. So, coming back to the Honorable James Marape, coming back to our friends in Pangu Pati, I'm still angry now. What are you going to do about it? Pangu, you can protect your legacy. Suppose you play, decide, you play Magi Momblaman, na come. I'm sure they can come and talk to Sir Peter. Mibla opposition, Mibla no number. We are just here to voice the people's cry. That's our job. Our job is to respond to the people. When the people have an issue, that's when the opposition voices that concern. And we've been doing it. Okay? The responsibility of changing government is the responsibility of every single member of parliament. Single them, stop on that. And if within the 80 or 85 or 100 numbers also fighting bros time, if within that number they decide to find another captain, people are ready to hire to start. Because that's what Papua New Guinea needs. It's not what the opposition needs. Mibla no come now. Singapore one Sunday Mibla like. Suppose you believe like Larry Mibla start yet opposition, you play sensing captain la happy. Okay, sensing captain la. Larry Mibla start opposition, you play sensing. Because that's the call of the people. And we are here to voice that. Thank you, like if you blow that.
Thank you, Governor Fred. So I think that's all we are here to say to you, so that our nations are aware of the reasons why we are embarking on this course of a motion. And many of you know that we've tried to put a motion through, but it's never accepted and never went on the floor of Parliament. This is the only second one that has done in this term of Parliament.
By order of the court.
In fact, because of the reasons of the order of the court. Otherwise, it will never be on the notice paper. So, time Marape and Ola Interpibla time or 6 time, yes, but Emina Igolo, Pepper Law, Parliament, you may debate now, looking more. They've got the numbers, but they are afraid to discuss the real issues that is affecting the country. That is a problem. I don't think in this term of Parliament we've had any grievance debate. Grievance debate is where you can complain longer or something. I think 1 or twice we've had it, but that's about it. In the entire 3 years or so that the Parliament has been sitting in this term. So once again, thank you very much. Any questions, gentlemen? We're quite happy to take a few questions. And ladies, of course.
No, no, important last question. You must also on foreign media ask him on hard question. Any questions? ABC?
ABC is here.
Post Korea National?
We're always
MTV?
available, so if you need any more clarity, I'm sure many of you got all our numbers, so please stay in tune. But it's our country, yeah? We have to make sure that we do the right things and the right decisions. So let's report it fairly and please. Sometimes we've got 3 or 4 different camps. You look at plan is everything that's an outside of that. Not of like Kenya or Great Papua or side below Kenya. Kenya means stuff offside, me and Mr. Lian, Sebile stuff offside. So, normal something. But most of the members are sleeping in their house and coming to work. We are united in our cause.
Thank you. Pangu took a court order against